RuriDragon was a manga I had no idea even existed a few days ago, but as of recording this video, it has quickly become already one of my favorite mangas, and I'm only at chapter 3 right now. The story revolves our main character Ruri, who wakes up one day and finds that she has horns protruding from her head, only to find out from her mother that she's actually a half dragon, half human breed. From then on, the story is very focused on her as a character dealing with these issues, going into the real world, seeing people's reaction, and basically just learning how to live with this newfound power she has. And from the get-go, this manga already caught my attention, just how many of the characters in this manga react to Rui's new appearance. Where in a lot of different anime, you could see that people who go through these transformations or get new powers, usually the people around them will either have some type of intense reaction, and usually it's negative. Sometimes it leans more towards the scared and frightened type, but others will run away or not understand. Ruri the dragon does not take that approach whatsoever. As we see Ruri go about her day, going to school, interacting with classmates, we actually see that a lot of them don't actually get put off by just the horns. In fact, they're more intrigued and interested in how it came to be and what she is, rather than just being scared or questioning her or even going to bully her like we have seen in other stories. Her mom also does not give her an intense reaction, however she is the one that tells her that she's a dragon and ends up leaving in kind of a hurry, as we see in the later chapters on that she knows way more about this dragon thing than Ruri ever does, as she's the one that actually kept all the secrets away from her and is taking a role in trying to teach her how to understand and control her powers. We only see this normality and acceptance only get kind of faltered when she starts breathing fire in class, and even then, her classmates are still more worried about her than, her doing any destruction or any serious damage to them or the school or any of the surrounding. Even the classmate that got his hair caught on fire because of the situation doesn't seem to hold any malice towards Ruri, and even go as far as to ask if she's okay after the whole incident. Just seeing all of her classmates just accept her outright gives me kind of a warm feeling, because like I said before, we usually see people get ostracized or get bullied or be treated differently due to their changes that happen as being the MC, but that doesn't happen in the story. And even the teacher in chapter 3 brings up the fact that people have differences, but we should still accept those people, which makes me think that this story might lean into themes of loving people for who they are and accepting people for what they may look like or what they may believe in or what they may be doing, despite the differences you may have with that other person. Though if I'm being completely honest, part of me feels like everything is not as it seems. This might be just me over speculating and overthinking about things, but from previous actions that I've seen, I feel like that Rui's mother might have some hand in how people are feeling. We've already seen that she has the ability to lie to Ruri, as she's kept the fact that she's a dragon and the fact that her father was a dragon for all these years. Not to mention that when she didn't want to go to school, she behind Rui's back contacted one of her friends, and even without Rui's knowledge, told her teacher about what was even going on with her and what could possibly happen before the school year even started. I will say, however, even though this is something that is a sneaking suspicion of mine and a theory that I did come up with, it's one of those things that I don't know holds a lot of weight, if I'm being honest. If there's anything that I could say about Rui's mother, it's at least the fact that her mother does care about her, as she's this beacon in Rui's life that helps her push her to do things when she might not want to. On top of being a single mother and trying her best to keep the human life that she has intact, I could definitely say that Rui's mother, at the very least, has her best interest in heart. I mean, hell, she basically rejected the help from her father in order to be the one that can teach her how to control her dragon powers, because she does have that knowledge, but also understands that bringing her father in might cause problems and has the confidence that she could do it on her own. And even if my theory is correct about Rui's mother pulling more strings than she would have known with her friends and doctors and teachers and whatnot, I would assume that it comes from a space of caring and a place of kindness, rather than something that would assume to be selfish and misguided. And honestly, either A, might not happen, as we do get a panel where Rui's talking to her mother, explaining that they want no more secrets, as it does make her feel lonely in a weird way, or this is to set up the fact that that promise was made only for Ruri to realize that her mother kept more secrets than she did, and it ostracized her from her mother even more. Though if that were to happen, I would suspect this to be a conflict more down the line. Something I wasn't expecting, however, is to see a visual representation of her dragon-born father, something that I thought we were going to have to wait chapters and chapters for. While I am glad to know that the father is around, I'm glad that they didn't try to forcibly implement him into the story yet, or have him meet Ruri. I feel like these first 3 chapters have established that Ruri's first big challenge with these new powers is to find the balance of dragon life and human life, and I feel like adding her father into it might be a bit much right now, especially since Ruri and her mother have been by themselves the entire time. Whether that's through the choice of the mother, the choice of the father, or a mutual agreement between the both of them, we have yet to really discover, but right now it has just been Ruri and her mother, and I'm okay with it staying that way for the time being. Especially if her father does get added into it, I feel like we're gonna fall down that trope of, oh, you have these new powers now, therefore I need to take you away from your life type stuff, where I think the charm of this story is that the people around Ruri in her life that are normal aren't affected by her changes and have accepted her for who she is, which is a half dragon, half human. I think once we get Ruri to understand her powers better, understand what it means for her to be a dragon, and having her friends along with her journey, then we can add her father with his own traditional views of what it means to be a dragon and having that square off farther in the manga. Now you may have noticed I haven't talked about Ruri herself, rather the people around her, and honestly for the most part, Ruri does come off more as just a normal girl. And I think because of that, along with the fact that it's just very early in the series, I think there's not really much to comment on her character in general. The only thing I can really say about Ruri is even though the powers haven't really bothered her like it would other people, I still think that deep down, she does still want to be perceived as a human, or at the very least treated like someone who's not different and not like an outcast, which harken back to what I said before, that it does feel really good to see her teachers and her students and everyone around her accept her for who she is. But we still have seen her have anxiety about going back to school, wondering what people are going to say about her, and I feel like that's an obvious thing, especially for a child her age. But I can see her anxiety about being normal rising if she's interacting with somebody outside from her day-to-day routine. Maybe somebody from the outside or some stranger down the street whose first impression is going to be Ruri with the horns, and maybe even a situation where they see her for the first time blowing fire, growing wings, or growing a tail, or some other form of dragon thing. Or maybe even the flip side, maybe she finds somebody who is secretly a half dragon or half human, or meets another dragon type being, and she gets judged for not being a true dragon and not being able to live up to her lineage. Either of those are actions I can see pushing her anxiety even more, and pushing her to the point of questioning what it means to be a dragon, what it means to be a human, and just making things far worse for her. Again, while it had nothing to really do for the first 3 chapters of this story, it's at least food for thought to have going forward at the very least. Overall, I'm pretty impressed on how fast I fell in love with this manga. Again, this was something that wasn't even my radar until I came across a short TikTok about it, and then once I picked it up, it instantly got me at chapter 1. It does a really good job hooking you in as you're reading it and keeping you there for a long time. I think a place where RuriDragon actually succeeds is the fact that it takes certain aspects of good things from other stories, but still applies some of its own tweaks and own ideas to make it feel fresh and make it feel unique. RuriDragon found something that is an interesting flavor in storytelling, and I hope that it keeps on with it. Thank God I picked it up when I did, because searching to see if there was more chapters anywhere else, I actually ended up finding out that there was a statement put out that RuriDragon, after being gone for 2 years, is actually coming back and going to be coming out in a, from what I understand, semi-weekly, if not weekly basis potentially, on the Shonen Jump Plus, which I'm actually really excited for. This story is cute, this story is intriguing, and it has a lot of avenues it can go to make it interesting, and I really hope I could see this story blossom into a beautiful manga that tells a beautiful story. Thank you to everyone who's watching. If you thought this manga and this conversation was interesting, leave a like on the video and subscribe for more content, and let me know in the comments down below what you think of RuriDragon. If you like it, if you don't like it, what are your opinions on it? I would really like to get, people's different ideas on it. I hope you guys have a lovely day, morning, evening, wherever you are in the world, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.
I'm like so gay.